Okay, so today's appreciation watch is the Citizen Eco-Drive Weekender Chronograph in the cream and black colorway, which is an absolute stunner that you can get very cheaply. I bought this at Costco probably 5 or 6 years ago. It still sells at Costco with this leather strap. I've only recently replaced the bracelet, which I'll talk about a bit later, but it comes with this rally strap with white stitching, which looks absolutely gorgeous with this cream black colorway. And there's a lot going on this watch. So what I didn't appreciate when I bought it, which was years ago, was how much is going on this watch. The chronograph, the base pulse 30 on the outer edge of this watch, the complications on this watch. Honestly, just the way this watch was finished in terms of the outer perimeter of the top round complications have an extra kind of black line. Oh, sorry. There you go. Extra black line on the outer edge of these complications, the top two, that really make this stuff pop. The lume on this watch is great. And of course, this is Citizen Eco-Drive, which means it's solar powered and it matches that standard of 6 months, which means you get this on a full charge from any light source and you throw it in a drawer and it will be running 5 months and 28 days from now. That's insane when you think about power and charge. And then I had a friend of mine who pulled out a watch that he had a drawer. It was dead as a doornail. And he left it out on a sill. This is at least a 25-year-old Citizen. So very early days. I think it was in the 95, 96 range that they kind of perfected that longer range of charge. But he had killed it. And so I actually bought a capacitor. I was excited to get into that watch. I said, give me the watch, I'll fix it for you. I bought a capacitor replacement. Well, he left it on a windowsill for a week, and it's running perfectly fine now. It's holding a charge, it's keeping time. So it just that picked back up, charged fully, and he's good to go. I did not replace that. So now I have this one if I ever need to replace it. But there's a practicality and like a craftsmanship and an engineering that's truly should be appreciated. I know it's not the mechanical elevated standards, but I think if you don't appreciate solar, or even what quartz is, because I certainly didn't until I started learning this, I do appreciate that. Not just as an entry point for watches, because it often lowers the price dramatically, but just understanding what that is, the hertz, the speed, the vibration, all the things about the quartz, and then the solar component added to that is pretty cool. So I appreciate this watch more now that I know those things about the history of the Citizen watch company, why it's named Citizen, the for the people kind of model. And this Weekender couldn't be a more perfect Citizen to own, in my opinion. Okay, so some quick specs on this. The model is CA4500-08X. That's the Costco model. There's another one that's the exact same specs that you can buy not at Costco. Price range on this, you can find it used for about $150 up to $300 new. You can get it on sale, I'm sure, for $200 brand new as well if you just really like this watch. Water resistant 10 bar. With that leather rally strap for 5 years, I never once wore this in the pool. I don't think of leather strap going in the pool. It can, of course, but why would I? I would feel gross, and then I'd feel like I damaged it, and maybe I would with the chemicals and all those things, right? So I never worried about it in the rain. I'm not sure I know at the time I bought this, I had no idea what 10 bar, 100 meter, none of that meant anything to me. So I just assumed you couldn't swim with a watch that had a leather strap. So now that I know that's not true, but throwing it on the Jubilee, I've had it in the pool 3 times in the last 2 weeks, because why take it off? Just hop in the pool, keep the watch on. It's great. Dimensions, it's 44 millimeter. It's a big boy. So for me, that's a perfect watch size. I do like a smaller bracelet feel for a really sharp watch to go out to dinner. And if I buy a really expensive watch, I'd probably lean on the smaller side because I don't want to bang it up as much. In this case, this is my perfect can do anything watch at this point. But 44 is a great size. It's 13 millimeters thick. I think it says 11 somewhere online, which is not true at all. It's definitely all of that 13 millimeters. And then it's a mineral crystal. So probably not going to crack this thing. Certainly says it's scratch resistant. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Again, for the price you're paying for what you're getting for this watch, I've owned it that long now. I haven't worn it that much. I'm wearing the hell out of it now. I'm wearing it in the barn. I'm wearing it in the pool. I'm wearing it wherever. I don't care. I'm going to beat this thing to death and hopefully keep it forever. But that being said, you know, it is heavy at 140 grams on the Jubilee bracelet, but it doesn't feel that way. I think I had a Seamaster, or a Seastar, excuse me. I don't own a Seamaster. A Seastar 1000 video, which was roughly the same weight. In fact, I think a little lighter on the bracelet. And it just felt heavy, like it dug into my hand. This doesn't feel like that. And I think it's because of the way the case has the pushers and the actual crown kind of raised up a bit in the case. Like it's, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of a side case. So anyway, that's it. This is not a sentimental watch, but it's a beautiful watch. And for me, it's exactly what I needed at the time I bought it. And then the reason I bought it just kind of grows with my understanding of watches and grows with my understanding of what I like. I like the not only the colors, but the complications. Now I know more about it, but also the numerals. This will be the last thing. I'll cut this off because I could talk a long time about this watch, but I'd just be rambling. So the very last thing is that the numerals on this, it has the 12, 1, 2, 4, 6, 4, 5. So basically 3, 6, and 9 are not here. This oversized 12, I really like that for whatever reason. The just design aesthetic of this watch is really, really cool. And then I can quickly read this watch. For me, for whatever reason, a watch without numbers, without the numerals, takes me a few seconds longer to see what time it is. And yes, I can tell what time it is. There's never going to be a question of whether I can read it or not. But there's just something about numerals I like. And yeah, all right. I've rambled. Thank you for anyone who bothered to watch this. Again, this is just my personal get out of jail exercise to appreciate my watches. And lastly, again, thank you to WatchFit for mentioning the Jubilee. That certainly made a huge difference for me. All right. Keep appreciating your watches. I'm going to certainly appreciate this Weekender and all my watches more for this. Have a good Saturday.